At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Motherhood. 1 minute, you're mom of the year.
I love you, Mommy.
Then the next, not so much. From bath time to bullying, from potty training to puberty, parenting is full of challenges. But one thing is for certain, you are not alone. Welcome to Modern Mom Probs. I'm your host, author, mother, parenting expert, Tara Clark. Join me while we tackle today's modern mom problems. Hey, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Modern Mom Probs. I'm your girl, Tara Clark, and today I'm with my girl, Erin Morrison. She's the creator of The Conscious Mom. You know her on Instagram as It's The Conscious Mom. She has a new book out called 3 Minutes for Mom, 365 Days of Empowerment. We are going to talk all about it. And today, what would I say our modern mom problem is? Our modern mom problem is not carving out enough time for ourselves. I think that's a big one. Erin is a conscious parent who has taught me so much about the way that I parent and the way that I want to parent and the way that I want to show up as a mom. You're going to love this conversation. You're going to love Erin just as much as I do. And without further ado, Erin Morrison, welcome to the show.
Thank you. This is so great. I know. I looked at my calendar today. I knew it was coming, but I was just so happy it was you. I'm like, oh, so great. It's just hanging out, really.
That's actually what it is. I mean, look, we already spoke 10 minutes before I even hit record, and we talked about everything. We talked about makeup. We talked about taking red eyes, not being young enough to be able to swing that sort of stuff anymore. We've covered the gamut already.
Really, truly, I used to be able to do the red eye. I used to do a lot of things 10 years ago. Sometimes I forget, you just you still feel the same age, but you realize your body has different needs and more nurturing needed. More nurturing needed. That's my tagline of the year, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I'm gonna take that one and put it in my pocket. I keep forgetting that I'm not 25 anymore because I think I keep grinding and trying to do things that I would do at 25. And I'm like, oh, I am not, but that's okay. I'm happy where I am right now.
And thank goodness we're not. And I say that with love, thank goodness we're not, but also it's just always you never know when you're in the good old days, but we are right now, with our own selves, not with our kids,
Yes.
That's you, but.
Yes, I am in the good old days with my son. I often stop because he's 12 now. And so I'm on the cusp of having a teenager. So I am trying to soak up time with him as much as possible and be present and be very cognizant of that, which I know you understand and you appreciate.
I know. I'm always, I look at him, mine's 11, turning 12. And I look at him sometimes and I'm like, he still has sweetness. And not that they always lose it. I'm just saying he'll still let me hold his hand sometimes, and he still wants to every night, before bed, we chat and we get I get the download, and I love that. But I know that that's the whole point. Children at that age are biologically hardwired to separate because if we think back, generate a whale, a long time ago, they needed to find their own tribe. And so that's why they, kind of move away from us. And it's a positive thing, but they always have that foundation. And I know that the kids will always have that. And I'm sure your son too, but it's a bittersweet, it's all the new stuff is fun and scary. And then you mourn the old stuff that's no longer.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. When you look at maybe an old book that they had or an old toy that they used to love, you're like, oh, I know
with my daughter the other day, we were in a little learning store and it was Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Remember that one?
Oh, I do.
And I was like, do you remember this? She's like, kind of. I'm like, oh, okay. This was a full year of our life. We read it every day, but it's just so cute. Anyway.
And they're like, yeah, I'm over it. And you're like, but I'm not over it. Actually, speaking of which, wait, this is actually crazy. And I shouldn't even share the story, but I'm going to. This even happens with our mothers. My mother called me the other day in tears because she threw something out that I had in my nursery when I was a baby 40 years ago. And she was like crying. And I was like, Mom, like you should have gotten rid of that like a really long time ago. And she's like, no, I couldn't. And then she was like calling my uncle, and then she was calling me. And I felt so bad for her, but she was really lamenting throwing out this like super old like thing from my nursery that was, again, really like past due to be thrown out. And she's like, I'm thinking of you, how cute you were in your crib, and you'd stand up in your crib and you'd lay down and take naps. And it's sweet. And so I let her sit in that, like we sat in that together. I didn't really poo poo it. I was saying more like, yes, you should have gotten rid of that thing a long time ago, but like you're entitled to those feelings and those memories and appreciating that, because she is not terribly sentimental. I think that was the first time she probably ever called me with something like that. But it happens to them. Yeah. So if it's happening to us with 10 and 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds, like it's happening to them with 40-year-olds.
I know. And my kids like to look back at video because now I have videos of them, because my kids grew up in the era where their parents had phones and cameras like on their phones. Had cameras on their phones. Yeah. And they'll look back and they love it. They're like, oh my God, like they're looking at each other or themselves. And so like, it really is great. I mean, we had to pop in the VHS, if we wanted to see those. For me.
Me too. There are very few photos of me as a child. Like sometimes there'll be a social media trend where people are like showing pictures of themselves as kids, like you're talking to you at 4 years old, and there are like so few photos of me.
Blurry and you're not looking.
Yes. Yeah. Or my eyes are shut. I have a really cute one of me at 3 years old in like feety pajamas. And my hair is like all bedhead and my eyes are shut. And
Baby Tara. I love
Baby
it.
Tara. Maybe I'll bring that one out for
Please
everybody.
Do.
Yeah, I think I will. So Erin, you've been busy. You wrote a new book, 3 Minutes for Mom. I want to hear all about it. I do. I love it.
Wait, here. Obviously it's here. Hi.
It's beautiful.
I love it because, it's funny. The way it all happened was I was approached to write a different book before, and I was in contract and I just pulled out because I was like, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to. And I think parenting books are wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I didn't want to write a parenting book. That's not what I was looking to do. And then Simon & Schuster approached me and I like fell in my lap and I was like, this is exactly what I want to do, which is I love the idea of taking everything that I've learned, through my traditional education at Columbia, through my conscious parenting training and my own experience being a mother. It's all wrapped up in that book, making things just feel doable and approachable. And it's just like a love note to mothers. It's really a love note to myself, but to the mothers that I've worked with and the mothers that I haven't, that helps ground you in all the good stuff you're already doing. Because I feel like we're in this culture of motherhood where it's like, try to be this type of mother, try to be that type of mother. Don't say this, say that. And I just feel like, can we please stop? Like, isn't this enough? Like, there's so many guidelines. Like, when did motherhood become like a competitive sport and where we're trying to find out what team we belong on? Like, how about we just anchor and root into who we are, our most authentic selves. And then you do not have to continue reading every new book that comes out about what type of parent you should be. So that's what this is. It's like a little every day. It takes, we need more than 3 minutes, but honestly, we don't always have that. So that's why it's 3 minutes. It's like every day you can read it like from, the beginning to the end, one a day, or you can just flip through it. And it's basically just a blurb about how you can feel more connected to yourself or your kids, have more fun, get more like it's really a bunch of different things. And then there's like a takeaway. If you want to like do a little activity, you can. If not, that's fine too.
Yes. When you said it's a love letter, that was the exact sense that I got from it. No, it's true. When I was reading even just the foreword, you end it with all my love, Erin. Yeah. And as I was reading the foreword, I could hear your voice in my head reading it because it truly is a love letter.
It is, because I just feel like we're in this day and age. It's like we're always trying to improve ourselves and better ourselves. And that's beautiful. But I think sometimes the pendulum just swings too far and we're so focused on more, better, that we don't even enjoy the good stuff that we already have. And that's the first page is really like water what's already growing. Like if you had a garden full of beautiful flowers. And you were so focused on all the weeds in this other garden, you don't even look to enjoy them. And then you forget to water them. And then it feels like there's just not enough. But I'm telling you, I've worked with so many mothers. There's so much more that they're doing right than wrong every time. Every time. And that's what we work on. And it's not like a BS. You go, girl. You got this. You're amazing. No, it's not that.
It really isn't. Because I read through most of it and it's not. It's very grounded and very real and very like applicable. That's what I was
hoping for. I wanted people to feel like they can read this and feel like, okay, I can see myself in this or I can't, and I give other examples, but like basically like for the takeaways, for me, I do like meditation, but it's not a daily practice for me. I do like journaling. It's not a daily practice for me. And a lot of people will get, tips or suggestions, you should meditate, you should do some breathing and you should journal. And it's just like, well, thanks, and no, and no, thank you. And so there's so many other things that we can do. And that's what this is about, because I just felt like I just want to feel like every day there's something that I'm going to ground myself in. And actually the idea for this was born out of me waking up and I stopped looking at my phone first thing in the morning because there was something I read or saw, or probably saw. I didn't read it. I saw it. It was on my phone. And it's
at least you're being honest.
Yeah. I'm not reading any articles here. I'm reading Twitter or X or whatever and Instagram. So it said something like, if you open your phone and you scroll for like 10 minutes, it's like you let 300 people in your bedroom. Like you opened your door and you're like, come on in, people's opinions, their bodies, their fashion, where they're going on vacation, what they say is right and what this person says is wrong. Like, think about how much we let into the beginning of the day. And I just was like, ew, this is not what I want, because even as harmless as it felt, I was just like, not for me. And I wanted this book to be the way I started my day. And yes, of course, my stuff is on social media, and I hope that it's sort of a breath of fresh air from something that makes you feel not enough, that does make you feel and realize you are enough. But that book I wanted it to be a replacement. Like, don't grab your phone, grab something that grounds you and reminds you of the good stuff so that you can at least launch into your day with what makes you feel connected and anchored and just, ready to take the day on, because there's just so much noise, constantly coming in.
So much noise constantly coming on. I love the analogy of just like opening up the floodgates of your bedroom and 300 people walking. Because you're right. One thing I do usually in the morning is I love Threads. I'm always like telling everyone, go on Threads, go on Threads. And Threads is sort of like the thing I read in the morning, but it's this, you're right. It's the same thing. It's
right. Well, and not to say
too much. It's too much.
Not to say that it's anything, anyone, but like, even if there's an algorithm, there's, people you follow, and you don't get to choose that. And I just feel like it's such a precious beginning of your day before everything just starts. You feel like your day is running you. I just feel like, what if we just had a little something, something. I like, one of my clients is like, oh, it's like Erin in your pocket. I'm like, it is like Erin in your pocket.
It is. I love that. I always say that phrase for people. I said that to somebody just the other night, but I love having an Erin in my pocket. Yeah. Whoop, I'm grabbing you, putting you in my pocket. But that is absolutely what the book is. They're little bite-sized nuggets. There's 365. Would you call these meditations? Like, what would you call those? 365?
We call them entries. I mean, I feel like there's probably a better word for it. I should think about that.
No. Entries are good. That's good. It's like entries into a journal.
It's a reflection about where you're at, really. And it's for any phase. It's really for any phase of motherhood. And actually, a lot of the feedback I've been getting is like, it's helpful in a marriage too, because basically it's all about you, and even though I said Erin in your pocket, it's really like your true self, the one that knows what to do, and the one, the you that recognizes when you've messed up and you didn't like how that felt, that part. That's really what that book is. It's reminding you of that stuff, because, I said the other day, someone said, like, what's the one thing that you could ask parents, or you could tell parents that would help them reflect if they feel like they can't trust themselves, because that's actually a big thing. It's the confidence. I see a lot of moms, we lack confidence to trust ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I think the best question to ask, and what I shared with her, was ask yourself every day, do I have my child's best interest at heart? And if you say yes, that's a beautiful way to start your day and ground and anchor yourself, because all that noise will make you question what you're doing. But you're like, wait, do I have their best interest at heart? Yes. And even if I don't know what I'm doing right now, I will figure it out, right? I'll talk to my husband, my partner, my co-parent, my mom, my friend, my therapist, my coach, whatever, or reflect, because eventually I will, because I do have my child's best interest at heart. And that's like a beautiful way to ground yourself every day, even if you don't have 3 minutes for mom.
That's a beautiful way. I can tell you right now, that's going to be the clip that it's going on social media because that was so good. Hey guys.
After you've read, then you'll go on your social media. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yes. But what I love about the entries is that they're so simple. One, and I'm going to totally butcher this and I'm not going to say it verbatim, but it was something along the lines of, if you're not showing your child a magical life, then who will?
Oh, I know. I love that one.
I love that one. It really made me sit and think about modeling, obviously, and trying to give your child the life that you would hope that they would want to live and then grow up and do for their own children.
Yeah.
And so I love that one. It was so simple.
It's like, if you're not sprinkling a little magic into life and showing them that life can be enjoyed, then who will? And I think, again, it's so funny. We set out, motherhood is like so tricky in the sense, well, it's tricky in a million ways, but it's tricky in the sense,
not in just one way.
just this one thing. I feel like everyone says motherhood will change you. It'll change you. And you're like, yeah, of course, I'm going to have a baby. Of course it'll change me. For me, the biggest surprise was that it didn't just, it changed my life, but it changed who I wanted to be. And not that and it's funny, it's like, who would I want to be? I wanted to be myself. It's like a return to understanding what would soothe you and make you feel the best and make you feel the most connected. So with that, entry there of saying like, who will show them the magic? Well, us. And also we want that, if life is just meant to grind and not enjoy and like have fun and laugh, like, I don't know.
I don't want it.
I don't like it.
I tap out.
Right.
I'm out.
So like that's kind of what it's about. It's like, we get to sprinkle in the fun for our kids. A big one, people really love this when I share about it, is let your kids see you have fun. Let them see you have fun, not just because, kids know how to have fun. No. I mean, let them see you have fun in life. Like, let them see you dancing in the kitchen. This sounds cheesy, but whatever it is.
Whatever it is that you want to do.
Right. Like, be silly brushing your teeth. If you're in the car in traffic and it's late, like, you can bang your head against the steering wheel, or you can be like, I'm so glad we have extra time together. Let's talk. Let's play, what is it? I Spy, anything. Like, I just think it's sprinkling that magic. We start doing it for them, but then we realize we get so much from that. And we're like, shit, like, I need to enjoy it all more. Right. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Shoot.
It's fine.
To enjoy it. Beep. Yeah. I need to enjoy it more, because like, if I'm enjoying this, like, it's a better experience for everyone. They say happy wife, happy life, happy mom, happy family.
For sure.
If we're actually genuinely enjoying just a little bit more, you're going to see shifts and changes in your family. It's wild.
1,000%, because it's bringing the high vibes. That's what I always say. In my family, I'm the one that brings the high vibes. I bring the high vibes everywhere I go, but particularly in my family, because that sets the tone for everything else. If everything's sort of like gloomy and depressing, then that becomes...
I can't imagine you gloomy and depressing.
I'm not. You're right. I'm not. I definitely am not. And that's why I'm bringing the high vibes. But I want to go back to the magical thing, because I don't want people to think that we're saying you have to build elaborate leprechaun traps, or you have to do like these huge Pinterest parties. No, it could be very simple things that you enjoy, that you want to impart on with your children, whether it's singing in the car or, like you said, like a dance party in the kitchen. Like, it doesn't have to be extravagant or expensive. Or what someone said to me the other day, and I love this, and I'm going to use this all the time. It is low effort, big impact. And that's what you're looking for out of this magic.
100%. And I bet it's the low effort, meaning love a low effort parenting strategy. It's those things your kids have the best time anyway. Like, for me, we play this random, I just made this game up one day. We have this like tiny little teddy bear. And before bedtime, once in a while, we have an upstairs, like the second floor. And all of us, if my husband's home too, will all, except for one person who's hiding the teddy bear, will go in one room and the other person will go around and you have to hide that. You have to put the teddy bear somewhere, but it can't be hidden. And so and then when they're ready, they run out and we rush around to see who can find the teddy bear. Like just the silliest thing, it's just like very low effort, but wonderful. And I have such a good story for something really about the Pinterest mom stuff. So I was definitely a Pinterest mom. And I'm not knocking a Pinterest mom too.
No, of course.
I love aesthetically pleasing things. I love making things pretty from the inside and out, of course.
Yes.
But I love making the outside pretty. And so when my daughter turned 5, she wanted a birthday party, but the theme she wanted was wedding because she watched, I love her. She's just a doll. Ellie is a gift. Anyway, my kids were obsessed with my husband and I's wedding video. Mommy and Daddy movie, they called it. I know. So cute.
That's so cute. I could cry. I'm literally going to cry.
I really didn't want to spend the money on it at the time when I was like, whatever, in my 20s when we got married young. But I'm glad we did because it was called the Mommy Daddy movie. I mean, we were so sick of watching our own wedding and hearing the same thing, which is my husband at one point, he's like, if I hear myself laugh again, I'm going to die. Like, cause of him, he was like laughing on the chuppah, like at the ceremony or whatever. He's like, I can't hear it. Anyway, so Ellie wanted a mommy daddy, AKA a wedding. And so I was so excited that she wanted a wedding birthday. And so I literally had it I rented a table. I made it a long table for all of her friends, like little wedding guests. We had a foam white dance floor. I went above and beyond. But this was probably the worst party and the best party because in the beginning we had a mini bartender, like a pretend bartender that had like fake mocktails. I mean, it was
like mocktails. Yeah.
Adorable, Tara. But after a couple of minutes, maybe an hour, I don't even know what it was. Ellie, it was too much. It was overwhelming. And I was also running around with my head chopped off, trying to get everything together. I didn't enjoy that party and she didn't enjoy that party. Maybe in the beginning she did. And it was the biggest wake up for me that I was like, all this extra, I meant well, right? We mean well, but she didn't want all of that. She wanted what she saw in that video. Mommy Daddy movie was really about us having fun, being together. Everyone that she loved was walking down that aisle. And it was just, that's what she meant by Mommy Daddy, birthday party, movie, wedding, whatever. And I just said, I'm never doing this again. I'm never going to choose all this extra stuff thinking that's going to make me feel enough and her enough because it didn't, really didn't. And it wasn't until the end of that birthday when everyone left and we had all these, white balloons on the dance floor. It was just me and my husband and my son and Ellie. And then we had our own dance party. And that's what she wanted was Mommy Daddy movie with just the four of us, and it was just a really big lesson. I know that was a long story, but
no, it's a good story though.
It was just one of those moments where I was like, damn, I missed that. But, I take those damn moments as, well, I actually do know what it is I need to do, and that's kind of the biggest thing. A lot of the moms that I work, they're like, I messed up and I wish I didn't handle it this way. I'm like, the fact that that's how we grow, right? Yep. You never just get it right. You don't learn from that. You learn when you realize you feel this feeling, which sometimes we say is guilt. Guilt is really just saying, that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. That's what feels right for me.
Yep. So well said. We had a similar thing when my son was 4 or 5. I don't remember which year, but it was a huge birthday party. And when everyone started singing, he got nervous, hid underneath the table. I'm trying to get him out from the table. And then when we packed up everything and then went into the car, he was holding a balloon and he accidentally let go of the balloon just as he was getting in the car, only to watch the balloon slowly fly away. And he just absolutely lost his mind. Absolutely lost his mind. And my husband and I both looked at each other and we were like, yep, that's it. We were doing it for us, to bring the magic, and he did not enjoy it. And it was extraordinarily stressful. And so, like you said, you live and learn, and then you do things differently.
And you realize you're the magical thing. The mom is the magic. You're it. Not all the excess. The excess is fine when it works, right? But it's just when you go on a big vacation and you plan everything and you want it to be perfect. And it's there's so much expectation on it that it's like, you know what? It's really just you running on the beach that's fun, or it's really just like being in the hotel room together. You know, it's like, it's so much less about the big stuff. And it sounds cheesy, but it is. It's like the little stuff.
No, but it really is. It is the low impact. Nope, no, I'm lying. It is the low effort, big impact.
I love it. Yes. I mean,
that's what it's funny that you're saying about on vacation. I've learned that now with my son. We travel pretty often, and I used to be like, okay, we're going to see this and we're going to do this. And then it was my husband that said, dude, pull it back. He's like, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to go to the pool. We'll do one activity a day, one tour, one guided tour, something like that, and then spend the rest of the day at the pool or in the hotel. He loves getting room service. He loves watching whatever garbage television is on in the hotel, because we always laugh because at hotels, like, it's whatever cable TV, like, so you're going to watch.
My kids are the same. They're like, oh, what's on TV? It's like exciting. I'm like,
it's novel to them.
Yeah, it is weird that you get to choose, you know, they get to, everything's on demand, and it is. That's so true. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. So he loves nothing more than like staying in the room, getting room service and watching like whatever's on like Animal Planet. That's so his vacation.
And, you know, also like leaving room, like I always say to my parents, like supervised boredom is a really great thing. And I say supervised because you just don't want to let your kids just roam around.
They're going to end up cutting their hair or something
don't
like
let them roam around the streets, even though that's kind of what we did. But, you know, supervised boredom is what allows them to use their creativity and their imagination, and for you guys to connect, you know, because if we plan every little thing, it's like almost like we're afraid for the downtime and the alone time, but that's where the good stuff happens. You know, it's when you get to actually have those talks and those chats and you come up with the funniest ideas. Like that is the magic, you know,
it really is. And so I know I only just spoke about one of your entries because the magical one really stuck with me because I tried very hard to live a magical life with our family. What is one of your favorite entries?
That's so hard because it's like right now I'm thinking of the one that has been the most impactful for so many, which is we tend to be angry mothers because we take a lot of things personally that our kids do. And so one thing that I've been sharing a lot is that it's not personal. It's developmental. And we have to start like using that to get ourselves grounded when our kids talk back or they do something they're not supposed to. We're so quick to like feel like, oh, I must be doing something terrible, or they don't respect me, or nobody cares about what I do. And we just immediately turn it into a personal thing. And think about what happens when you take something personally. Do you like respond in the way you want? No, you react, you yell, you scream, you threaten, you do the things that you're like, that's not actually how I wanted to handle it. And so I always, you know, that is an entry. I think to parallel off, there's another one that says you have to ask yourself, am I responding to my child's emotions or am I reacting to my own? And that's a big one because a lot of times we get really upset and then we handle a parenting situation and I guess I'm saying it the wrong way. We get very upset and emotional and then we call that parenting, you know, because you did this and I'm going to say that. It's like, how about we recognize, am I actually reacting to how I'm feeling or am I actually responding to my child? And that's a good one because we just get carried away by our emotions with our husbands too, of course. You know, those two are really, I think the most helpful I've been hearing for parents because it's a simple thing. You're not going to just, oh, I heard that. Now everything's great. No, it's just like, it helps you recognize, oh shoot, it's just like such a small thing that sets me off. And like, oh, it is. I am feeling like it's personal when really, it's pretty normal for a child to be upset when you tell them no. I mean, if someone told me no all the time, I'd be pretty pissed too.
Everywhere you turned, you just kept hearing the word no. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny that you mentioned about husbands with that because no, seriously. Because for my husband, that was actually something that he was struggling with for a really long time, was taking my son's behavior personally. And we must have had 100 conversations where I was like, it's nothing personal. He's just reacting to what you're saying or whatever it is. And so that's something that we've worked through. And luckily he no longer takes it personally, but he was hung up on that for a while.
Yeah. I think, and to an extent, right? Like, it doesn't mean that everything, of course, the way we parent affects our child. So, but I more mean when your child says, I don't like you or you stink. It's like, if you're letting that little kid and their words choose the rest of your day. That's kind of funny to think about. You're like, oh, yeah, I am, like, to take that personally. And so I think, I think there's those tiny shifts every day that we can make that add up to create change. And again, that's like kind of the 3 minutes for mom foundation, is that it's a lot. Like, I think you see a lot of things out there that's like, take this course, spend thousands of dollars and, you'll feel way better as a parent. I hope that works. But for me, I need tiny things that are doable for me every day. That's where real change, happens. It's no different than if you wanted to change your diet and you wanted to be healthier. If you just took out all sugar and carbs immediately, like, that's going to be pretty tough to go cold turkey. But if you took out one thing every day and then you replaced it with something that felt really good and realized there's other things you already were doing that are good, like, you're going to start to really change and feel good about that. So that's the same, method here, is that you just get to be more of you every day and shed away at the stuff that doesn't serve you. It's sort of, I've said it before. It's like when you see a sculpture artist, they're chipping away at stuff. They're not adding more. And that's really what we have to do as moms. It's like, let's start to like chip away at the stuff that's just like maybe once worked for us and no longer does. And then we're going to start to be like, oh yeah. Like, maybe I don't need, to listen to everything everyone else says. Maybe I can pick and choose and then just show up more like myself and what feels right. And that's authentic motherhood.
Yes, that's a solid analogy about the artist and the nutrition and the working out. It's all little micro habits, if you will. And that's true whether it's nutrition or fitness or parenting. I agree. I mean, I'm so like in that school and in that vein of conscious parenting, because once you really connect with yourself, then you could connect with your child and have a wonderful relationship and foundation that will hopefully last a lifetime. So, I'm so with you on that. One of my other favorite entries, and 365 is a lot, by the way. I give you so much credit for coming up with 365 of them, because I know in my book, I had 99 modern mom problems, and like 99 of something is a lot, but 365 is extraordinary. So kudos to you. Another one that I really enjoyed was, again, please, if I butcher this, it's not verbatim, but it was, you don't have to be a perfect mother, but you do have to be a present mother.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I really enjoyed that one too, because people so often get hung up on, I have to do the right thing for the birthday party. I have to say the right thing. And they're hard on themselves, right? And they have mom guilt, but like, it doesn't have to be that. Kind of going back to the birthday party stories, like, they don't need the perfect birthday party, but they need the birthday party where you're there connected with them and they feel seen, they feel loved and celebrated.
100%. And I think too, like, if that goes in line with another entry, but just in general, with it's really a quality over quantity. And I feel like it's the same thing. It's like, it's not about how often you get it right. It's great if you do, but it's about how you handle it when you've gotten it wrong, and how you make it right. It won't always be perfect. There's no perfect. And I think we all know that. We know that, like, cognitively, intellectually, we say that, but the internal narrative is pretty nasty sometimes of what I hear moms saying to themselves when they don't get it right. And that's a part to really start to, like, wow, like that voice. I said to my friend, Michelle, good old Michelle.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle. Yeah, the other day we were talking, someone like left a mean comment on her. And I was like, you know what? It's so funny. These people that are so mean, they leave mean comments on posts, we're kind of like that to ourselves, like, if you have a parenting moment, like, are you the nasty stranger on the internet saying mean things to yourself? Because if you are, it, like, first of all, I just have so much compassion for ourselves if we have that narrative that it's like, was it perfect? Was it perfect? But I've really started for myself for a while now, but also with the moms I work with, I might not always get it right, but I will make it right, and I think that's an important thing to sit with as moms. It goes back to that one question. It's like, do I have my child's best interest at heart? I do. And so if I don't get it right, I will do my best to make it right. And that's really, wrap it all up. It's like, you're teaching your child how to be human. You're saying, hey, I'm always going to try my best and do my best. And that's not a like, oh, I tried my best, too bad. No, it's saying I'll always try my best. And when I don't get it right, I will make it right. And I'm going to make it right by being accountable, not dragging myself through the mud and guilt. I'm going to say, hey, I don't like how I handled that. And then I'm going to apologize, right? Again, you don't have to, it's not like a big long thing. Please forgive me. No, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry I did that. I don't like that I did that. Give them their space to feel whatever they feel, whatever. Doesn't mean they can act how they want to act, but right, give them their space to feel. And then do it again. Like, do it again. Do it again. Do the same thing. No.
Just keep messing up. No, I'm just kidding.
That's all it is. No, then we try again. And that's the best we can do. It's really it. And the present piece is, we hear it, be present. Well, guess what? Everything in our world right now is telling us to not be present because we have so many dings, zings, alerts, and things going on that try to take you away from where you are. Like, really? Is anything really? Like, if it's the school nurse, that's what I want to know when they're calling.
Yes, it's true.
And even that, it's like, I stubbed my toe. I'm like, you're fine. But like, that's really it, right? What else is more important than what's in front of us? But that's not the world we live in. Realistically, we're not always going to be present. So if we can say, I'm going to go for quality over quantity, then we're going to start taking those right steps.
Yeah. Erin, you are so good at this.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, you are. And I'm not just saying this like...
Well, maybe it's because like, I really just want to be me. And I really just want to be the most authentic version of myself. And I've learned a lot from a lot of failure, and a lot of stuff. And I think that's really all of us. And I think maybe you think I'm so good because like you are feeling the same things and I'm just communicating it for you, like I'm just reflecting it back to you. So, thank you. But also it's because you feel the same way. You see that. And it's nice to hear other people explain things you might not explain, of what's going on inside of you when I just kind of mess my words up there. But yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I totally know what you mean. And I don't know, like I said, if it's because you and I see eye to eye with conscious parenting or whatever it happens to be. Because also because like we're friends and maybe that's what it is too. But
we like each other.
Say again.
Maybe because we like each other.
Maybe because we like each other. That could be it too. But it's interesting. A lot of times people are like, oh, conscious parenting, gentle parenting, permissive parenting. Like, I feel like people are trying to start a war or a fight or be galvanizing, like where there really is no fight there. What do you think about that?
A lot to say about that. I think we've just overcomplicated everything. But again, with good intention, I think we're all just trying to find our, parenting fountain of youth. We all want to know, how can I be the best, and yes, I think a lot of these, parenting ideologies or methods, are misunderstood too, I have to say. It's funny, my sister-in-law the other day, we were talking and she's like, honestly, like I'm definitely not a conscious parent. Like I'm an 80s mom. Like that's how I parent. And she's like, but the way you explain conscious parenting makes me think maybe I am a conscious parent. And I think that's what it is. I think when we put labels on anything, it sort of takes away from the essence of what is good. It's sort of like, think about we're getting deep, but I'm saying like, think about the idea of love, right? Love is the most beautiful, formless thing. But when we put rules around it, it sort of takes away from it. When we say love is love. I mean, like love is this feeling, it's living, it's breathing, and you love so many things. But when you put a box around it like marriage, okay, well, here's the rules of love, right? Or here's the rules of love of a parent. It really takes away. And I think that's what happens with these parenting methods. I think they all have really good intention, but that is in fact why I know my Instagram it's the conscious mom, because it really, everything I do is rooted in conscious parenting, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to make you a conscious parent or make you say, I believe in conscious parenting. I want every mom that comes through my account and learns something or reads 3 minutes for mom to say like, I'm the authentic me. I'm the authentic mother. And that's really the type of motherhood I'm after. And I want others to experience, because who's a better mom than you as your true self? I actually just posted a little thing in my cart Because that's where I'm always in the car.
I know, you're so good about that.
I mean, that's, it started because of COVID and I had no other quiet space in my,
Is that how you started doing that? I just assumed that you were always at school pickup.
That too. Oh yeah. My mobile office, I should write that off. I really should write off the car.
Totally
it's also a dumpster on wheels. It's dirty. Everyone has all their stuff. My husband's car is like beautiful. Mine is like, there's stuff falling out at all times. Actually, I'm not even going to get into the grossness of my car, but,
you are not alone.
Oh, I know. But I do have a side note. I did subscribe to like a unlimited car wash. Best thing I ever did. So on Mondays, I get my car wash. And it was like, I know. Mondays, like clean car day. I feel so good. Wait, what were we talking about? Sorry.
I don't know, because now I'm fantasizing about getting my car wash.
Listen,
I really do need to get
it. It's $60 a month, and sometimes I'll go twice a week. I'm sorry, it's just great.
Right. Do they also vacuum it too?
Oh no, it's outside, inside, outside. It's great.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's just truly wonderful.
We were talking about your videos, why you shoot your videos in the car, and you had a video that you posted this morning.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I was saying that. Wait, now I don't know. What did I post this morning?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch.
Ooh, well, it was just a story anyway. I can't remember what I said. Probably just about being authentic. And this is me.
Conscious parenting is not necessarily about following rules per se, but it's being your own authentic self in order to parent your children.
Yeah, that sounds right. But I still forgot it. So, that. Whatever. Just go watch my stories. Oh no, they'll be gone by now.
No, they'll be gone by the time this goes. But you definitely, everybody need to follow Erin Morrison. It's the Conscious Mom. That's absolutely true. So I'll leave it at this. Well, actually, I have two questions for you. Two last questions. One, I ask this of all my guests. What do you think is the biggest modern mom problem right now?
It's definitely over information. I think we're oversaturated with what we should and shouldn't do. And I find that with anything, any new advancement, any new technology, there's so many positives. And then we have to create the boundaries to make sure it still stays a positive and it stays a great resource. And so that's really it. And I think I tell parents all the time, like a lot of moms deal with comparison. It's a huge one in so many ways that I'm just blown away by how much it impacts them.
Yeah.
And, for me, I unfollow whatever doesn't make me feel good. It's not personal. It's just because I'm like, that doesn't really serve me. It doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't uplift me or entertain me, or inform me as I want. I turn off my notifications. I don't have notifications on my phone. Again, it's literally, is it the school nurse or my husband, is like, those are the people that get through. I don't have any notifications for social media or news. I have like weather alerts. That has made my life way simpler. I really choose, and I book in my days without screens because, and again, I'm not saying that like, I don't have screens. No, I'm just saying like, that's what helped me. If it doesn't help you, that's fine too.
Right. You're protecting your peace. It doesn't have to be anyone else's peace. It's your peace.
Wait, one more too. This is a big one. And this was a therapist said this to me a long time ago. You don't have to answer the phone when someone calls. I don't know. I know that sounds like cute. It sounds so silly.
Revolutionary.
I'm like, I don't. It's like, no, why? How come when someone needs you, you have to respond to them? But that, like, what? You can say, hey, I'll call you back when I can. Oh my God. Revolutionary for me. That was like a decade ago, but it's really helpful.
It's a big one. Yeah. I've learned that myself because my mother calls many times. And so now I've gotten to the point to say, which is lovely, but, I have to text her and say, hey, I'm in a meeting. Hey, I'll call you back in a few minutes. And so it's important to set those boundaries. And you're right. You don't have to answer the phone every single time someone calls. Erin Morrison, I adore you so much. Where can we buy your book? Where can we find you online?
You can buy 3 Minutes for Mom wherever books are sold. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target. And also it's on Audible. So if you want to hear my precious voice, which is very me, sometimes I add, the audiobook I almost love more because I just threw in other things. I'm allowed to do that. So I'm like, it was so fun to like do that. And I took so many, my poor producer, I was like, I need more takes. I don't want to sound like weird. I'm like, no, I need to sound more like me. She's like, well, you can't sound like you just are having a conversation. You need to have like formality. I'm like, okay, fine. So I really love the Audible version. And I think honestly, don't worry, I make a pittance from this anyway, but I'm saying like, if you get both, it's great because if you have it on your nightstand, it's one thing, but it's also, I love it because it's literally 3 minutes after drop off on your commute. It's almost like a mini meditation, that you get to be like, oh, like regrouped, grounded, ready to go.
I love that. I love that. Yes, I think maybe I will get both of them. Everybody.
Well, you have one coming to you already. Don't worry.
Yay. I'm going to keep it on my nightstand so that I don't scroll first thing in the morning. I don't need to be doing that. Nobody needs to be doing that.
Even if it's a 3-minute delay.
That's true. Right. It only takes 3 minutes.
I know.
I have 3 minutes in the morning. I have 3 minutes before I wake up and then get my son and go downstairs and start the day. That's always my first thing. I wake up. I usually scroll threads. Then I'm like, all right, let's go. And then I go get my son, wake up and go get my son. Here we go. And I have 3 cats. My cats are like always tripping me as I'm like trying to like get out of bed.
They don't want to wake up either.
They want to be fed is their problem. So they're all like, feed us, feed us, feed us. I'm like, all right, guys. They're like tripping me down the stairs.
I'm a human to feed.
Yeah, it's a whole scene. I do feed them first because they trip me otherwise, and then I feed Jack.
Oh my God, they're hilarious. They're such cats.
Oh my God, they're like their own sitcom by themselves. It's wild. I love it. Thank you so much for being here today. I love chatting with you. We need to hang out again. I miss you.
I told you I'm going to be in New York in a couple weeks. So.
I know we are gonna hang out that day then.
Oh, I can't wait.
That makes me happy.
I know.
We're gonna do all the things. Are you hanging out with Neha too? Like who else are you hanging out with?
Oh my gosh, you know what? I text Jenny and Neha for sure. But I'm sure there's so many people that I love that I've never met in New York, and so I'm going to be there for a couple of days. And I think I'm going to host a little post drop off mom coffee thing, like a 3-minute. It's like 30 minutes for mom kind of thing. But I'm going to do a quick like coffee just to say hi to everyone and chat and have some goodies and things. So I'll obviously keep you posted on that.
Yes, keep me posted. Love it, love it, love it. Erin Morrison, everyone go follow her. Buy this book. I love it. I'll see you soon, sweetie.
Love you. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Modern Mom Probs. I hope you enjoyed our deep dive in today's problem with me, your host, Tara Clark. Join me next time when I'll be interviewing another great guest and tackling another modern mom problem. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review and a rating. As always, you could head over to Modern Mom Probs on Instagram and give me a follow, or check out my book, Modern Mom Probs, A Survival Guide for 21st Century Mothers, available online wherever books are sold. Well, that's it for today. See you next time, folks.